The movie opens with a quick story at the story of Cleopatra and Mark Antony. On their wedding ceremony day, he supplied her with 3 golden bejeweled eggs as a symbol of his love for her. After their deaths, the eggs have been hidden for centuries and believed to be mere myths. However, the eggs had been later unearthed with the aid of a farmer, whilst the 0.33 remained hidden in secrecy. In the cutting edge, a person is working on a duplicate of one of the eggs. Rome, Special Agent John Hartley, Dwayne Johnson, joins Interpol Inspector Das, Ritu Arya, at a museum at the hunt for desired art thief Nolan Booth. Ryan Reynolds, after being given statistics via a supply acknowledged most effective as the bishop. They speak to the museum director as he leads them to one in every of Cleopatra's eggs on show before a crowd of vacationers. Hartley does a thermal analyzing of the egg, and then uses a child's can of Coke to expose that the egg on show is a fake, and someone else is in possession of the real one. As Das orders the region to be locked down, Booth pops out of the gang and makes a run for it with the egg. Guards chase him, however he loses them by way of mountaineering scaffolding and causing it to fall apart. Hartley corners Booth, with them both falling out a window, and Booth manages to go down a slide and run into town. He rides off on a bike, but as Hartley attempts to chase him in a vehicle, he gets deboned by way of a gelato truck, and Booth gets away. Days later in Bali, Hartley finds Booth in his domestic and brings out the agents to arrest him and secure the egg. As the crew takes Booth away, one agent, Gal Gadot, switches out the egg for a fake one. Hartley goes again to Rome, wherein he's discovered in a bar by Das. She indicates him the egg that become changed after shattering it on the floor. Das also notes that an $8 million wire switch was sent to a Swiss bank account in Hartley's call, leading her to believe that he changed into involved inside the egg's theft. Although he insists he is harmless, Das has Hartley arrested. Hartley is dispatched to a Russian jail in which he reveals that Booth is his cellmate. Hartley deduces that he was set up by means of the bishop. Booth informs him that whoever is in ownership of the 3 eggs need to deliver them to an Egyptian billionaire by using the eve of his daughter's wedding for a fee of $300 million. The men recognize that the second one egg is in the possession of an international arms supplier referred to as sotto voce, Chris Diamantopoulos, and a risk to swipe the egg from him might be at some stage in one in all his famous parties. Moments later, Booth attracts interest to them through yelling out to the entire cafeteria that Hartley isn't always a cop. This prompts a large inmate, Drago Grand, Daniel Bernhardt, to stand up and undertaking Hartley. Although he tells him he doesn't want trouble, Drago knocks Hartley on his ass in the front of everybody earlier than guards bring him and Booth again to their cellular. The men are introduced to satisfy the bishop face to face, and she seems to be the secret agent who swapped out the eggs. She says that she transferred cash to an account under Hartley's call, and additionally that she has been one step in advance of Booth to become the sector's #1 artwork thief. Bishop says she is aware of that Booth knows in which the place of the 1/3 egg is and could allow him out of there with a 10% cut, but he refuses to inform her anything. She orders the guards to place Hartley and Booth in tough exertions. While trying to come up with a plan to clear his call, Hartley makes the maximum of his time having to paintings with Booth. In their mobile, Hartley asks Booth about his father, due to the fact he knew that Booth's dad turned into a Swiss police captain, so he wonders how that man's son would pass directly to turn out to be a crook. Booth says that his dad changed into a jerk who cared greater approximately his work than he did his very own son. When he believed that Booth misplaced a cherished watch of his, the man didn't communicate to him for a year till he observed it turned into hidden behind some paperwork. The guys enact their plan when Booth throws a bar of cleaning soap right into a cleansing answer and throws it right into a machine to create an explosion. In the ensuing chaos, the men fight off the guards before making their way to a chopper. The usage of a badge Booth swiped off a defend while Drago attacked Hartley. Booth makes it onto the chopper even as Hartley runs across the bridge as the guards blow it up. As Hartley attempts to climb up the bridge, Booth fires the chopper's device guns on the guards. He starts flying away until Hartley manages to climb up and leap into the chopper. The guards try to hearth a missile at them, however Hartley manages to have it fly through the chopper and hit a mountain instead. They then make their getaway. The bishop is preserving an agent captive in his office until she uses his laptop to ship a decrypted message to Das to tell her that Hartley and Booth are on the loose, in addition to an invitation to Sotto Voce's birthday party. The agent trips an alarm, but the responding agent is knocked out through Bishop. She threatens the primary agent to inform a lie approximately what came about or she can get to his loved ones and display his darkest secrets and techniques to them. Booth receives help from a touch, Tambui, Ivan Backup, to select him and Hartley up and take them on a plane to Sotto Voce's area in Valencia. Booth comes up with a plan to get into Voce's secure, which simplest opens along with his thumbprint and facial reputation software program. which Booth is ready for with his very own tech. The men show up on the celebration, that is a masquerade ball, so that you can get by using undetected. Bishop is there already, so Hartley dances together with her to avoid drawing poor attention. Sotto voce spots them and comes to a decision to reduce it out of jealousy. Booth swipes a picture containing Voce's thumbprint earlier than he and Hartley make their way to his secure. After some clumsiness, the two locate the secure but are determined through Doss, who holds a gun to them and orders Hartley to arrest Booth if he genuinely is on the facet of the law. Hartley disarms Doss earlier than he and Booth get within the safe and lock it. Bishop has somehow already made her manor interior and fights the men for the egg till Voce is available in. Her turns out to be in league with Bishop, and they have Hartley and Booth knocked out and taken captive. Bishop interrogates Hartley with electric-powered cables for the whereabouts of the third egg. When Voce nearly strangles Hartley, Booth relents and says that the egg is in a pyramid in Cairo. When it seems like Voce and Bishop are approximately to go off collectively, he collapses after she spiked his drink, leaving her to escape. Voce comes to moments later but has his vision impaired. He fires wildly at Hartley and Booth, and they emerge as free of their cuffs. The men attempt to get away, however become within the bullfighting arena out of doors. Hartley receives knocked round a couple of instances, and Voce attempts to shoot at them once more, however he is knocked out with the aid of the bull before the guys flee. They make it onto a train, where Booth admits he lied about the 0.33 eggs region. Hartley almost throws him off the edge till he relents and pulls him back in. He then tells Booth about his father, who become a con guy that just disappeared from his life while he become 13. Booth then tells Hartley a touch records about the 0.33 egg. It was recovered by means of a Nazi art collector named Rudolf Zeig, and after stashing away all the stolen Nazi artifacts, the egg remained hidden. Booth later discovered out that the watch that his father cherished so much become genuinely a key to locating the secure where the egg is kept. The guys visit Argentina, in which they find a passageway to a large vault containing masses of stolen artifacts. After they locate the egg, Bishop arrives, at the side of Doss and her team of agents. A shootout ensues, which leads to a chase through the caves in antique cars. Bishop and Doss conflict for the egg at some point of the chase, however Booth manages to get it lower back. The three journey their automobile out of the cave and over a waterfall. Booth grabs the egg and starts to depart, however he can't find Hartley. Not wanting to let him die, Booth attempts to enter the water to save him, however he turns out to be excellent. Bishop swims to shore, but when it seems like Hartley is ready to arrest her, they has an alternative kiss. They then monitor that Hartley become running with Bishop the whole time, as they are a pair who've been planning the egg heist from the start and used Booth to steer them to the third egg. They depart him cuffed to a tree earlier than making their getaway. Hartley and Bishop go to Cairo, in which the billionaire is hosting his daughter's wedding, supplying her now not handiest with the 3 eggs, however also a special musical performance from Ed Sheeran. Doss and her retailers crash the celebration and arrest the billionaire, and Ed because he tried to fight guards, while Hartley and Bishop break out quietly, their payment already secured. The couple are on a ship when they're observed with the aid of Booth. He informs them that he tipped off Doss approximately the couple's scheme, and she has their entire $300 million thieved frozen in their bills. Booth offers them a hazard to crew up with him on another larger score, or he will leave them to be arrested. Hartley and Bishop reluctantly agree. Doss and her retailers arrive too past due and discover neither of them. She is going lower back to her workplace and troubles a purple observe on all 3 criminals. The trio then arrive in Paris to the place in their next large raiding, the Louvre.